Happy Friday, traders. It's 8:01 a.m. Chicago time on Friday, the 15th of July, 2022. It is episode number 2273. Thanks for joining us again. Please remember that derivatives trading is not suitable for all investors. Uh, One thing I'd like to ask you is to make sure you hit the subscribe button on YouTube. If you're on EdgeClear's Trader Bite page, just hover over the bottom right of the video and you'll see a YouTube link. That'll take you to YouTube. It'll require you to log in, and please subscribe and like. Every single time you're here, be sure to like and let others know and have them subscribe as well. What that does is somebody's looking for how do I trade futures or day trading futures, it'll help these videos climb a little bit higher and hopefully get more people to look at the market in a more professional and holistic way. Thanks for doing that. Let's jump right in. Actually, let's start this backwards real quick. It is one of those Fridays where I ask everybody to just punch in where you're located. So please type in the city, state, province, and country. If you don't have a state or province, just city and country of where you're located, where you're hearing us from right now. You may share your Twitter handle, at I love to trade or whatever it is. Share that as well if you want to be contacted by those who are nearby or may have similar interests. You can also share your Instagram handle, Telegram, whatever. Just don't share emails or phone numbers unless you love to get spammed. Maybe you need an extended car warranty, or maybe you need to help out a Nigerian prince get some money out of Nigeria or something. So please punch it in where you're located, city, state, and country if possible, and then put in your Twitter, Instagram, Telegram handle if you wish to be contacted. Of course, not necessary. Look around on the list on live chat on YouTube and see if there are traders near you with whom you can connect. Okay. So let's get past that. Let's take a look at what's happening here today through our conversion trading pre-market summary sheet. The market's in a risk-on posture. Just started pushing pretty hard out of a consolidation that was in balance overnight. It has changed into a multi-distribution profile now, and so we're pushing higher. I want to draw your attention to the fact that yesterday's delta was very strong. We're getting comments from Fed's Bostic, and we're expecting comments from Fed's Bullard. Bullard has definitely thrown a wrench in things a couple times in the past here. So that's playing out currently. The big thing to look out for today, the things that have kind of moved us around, is that China's GDP took a big hit. There was a reaction to that in the overnight session. The market's recovered since. Also, the mortgage market in China is really unstable. There's some real issues there. And it's being kind of played out in the media there, but we don't hear about it. Also, China's Huaiwan County issued a lockdown because of a COVID breakout, so the market had some jitters when that happened earlier this morning. Discounting that information now. We did get United Health, Citigroup, Wells Fargo, Progressive, U.S. Bancorp, PNC, BlackRock, Bank of New York, and State Street announcing pre-open, and there were some misses. There were some beats. Wells Fargo missed. Citibank beat. United Health beat. BlackRock missed. So we're in the full swing of earnings season here. And then as far as what's coming up what's coming up on the calendar today. Again, we have Feds Bostic and Bullard speaking, but also we have industrial production in about 8 minutes or so. The big one is Michigan sentiment, consumer sentiment prelim, and this is important because the Michigan sentiment number was actually referred to by Jerome Powell, Fed's Chair Powell, at the last conference and meeting minutes. So they're paying attention to this number. We are expecting, what are we expecting on that number? I should know that. We're expecting 49.3, the prior's 50. Expecting 49.3. We get business inventories at 10, and then that's a wrap into the weekend. Don't forget it is Friday, regular Friday, but it is a summer Friday. So we have taken out the 3,800 in the S&P, so turning our attention to the S&P. The S&P is now in a multi-distribution profile. No, Bostic is a voter in 2024, not currently. Bullard's the one to pay attention to. The S&P is in a multi-distribution profile. Currently, 257,000 contracts traded, as shown in the display in front of you. The inventory is 77% short, long, 77% long, meaning 77% of the volume so far has occurred before the prior close. The range has expanded quite a bit here. Went from about 38.12 or so. What was the high before this? Yeah, 38.1175 to 38.50, extending the range quite a bit here. 38.05 is the point of control. We're shifting the point of control up. Pretty solid tests yesterday and finished higher. We do have OPEX today. It is the third Friday of the month, so you're going to have all kinds of gamma walls and things like that to deal with. So that's that. Here's what was expected yesterday. Here's what was expected yesterday. Yesterday we were trading down here, and the expectation is we are likely to at some point test this 37.70, 37.75. I did expect the market to drop through the 40 to 40 area and to start moving towards 37.12. And what it did is it pushed down into, didn't even close the gap zone below from way back. It pushed down into 37.23, 37.23, and then holy cow, did we have a positive delta. We continue to have positive delta for the day. So the key thing above the 37.75, remember this is where I talked about if it breaks through the 37.75, we're looking for a pullback into the 75 or so, and we're looking for 800, 804, 806, and 808. Those are the century figure, also probably a gamma wall there. 804 was something, I don't remember. 806 was the overnight high, and 808 was the prior day's point of control and balance. I believe settlement was there as well. So this is what was expected yesterday. Here's what actually happened. This is what happened yesterday right here. We open up. We were down here. We immediately push. So we open up right up here. We push into this 68 area, pull back. We drop into that 23, whatever, 23.75. And then what you notice is the delta goes from negative to very strong positive. I'll show a different display of that. Remember, this is using MBO data. MBO data is quite accurate as to the relative delta broken down into small, large, and very large lots. And so we squeeze higher and higher and higher, and then we test the 75 on the nose. The 75 holds, creates an opportunity here on the lower high for a response back to the IB and to mid. And then from there, once it takes a 75, it does not look back. There was no clear way for me to get long into the 3800. We pushed into 3800. There was an iceberg here at 3800, traded quite a bit, and then we ended up pushing the point of control for the session higher. From there, given the way we closed, given the strength with which we closed, we expect it to continue higher in the Globex session, and it did. It busted out. It busted out higher, went to 38.11 or so, and then pulled back, and then we had the Chinese figures and so on. U.S. U.S. retail number right there, and then now the market is risk on, and you could see faintly, hopefully in your display, you could see there's like some ghost-like bubbles there. Those are big lot trades. Those are big lot trades lifting. There's a lot of lifting on the tape here, and it seems like it is not done. It is not done finding buyers. So we've moved to the next stock zone very beautifully. Pushed to the next stock zone. It is pulling back a little bit, but to me this looks quite bullish. We're opening in a gap higher into the balance that is above 3800. So if you remember from yesterday, let me see if this chart shows it. Nope, that's not the chart that I want. Let me close this. Let's move to the TPO chart. So here's where we are. So we continue to one time frame down, boom, boom, boom. And what's happening today is, guess what? We broke the daily one time framing down high from yesterday at the 00, and we're trading higher. So this is a reversal on the one time framing. So the one time framing is now neutral. Okay, it's not long, it's not a buyer trend yet, because we need to have today finish so we can see a higher low, but we are interrupting this move down. It's no surprise that it's doing so with a lot of spunk, and what it's doing is it's moving from this lower distribution and is trading in this middle distribution, and so on and so forth. The line in the sand here for this, the neckline for this distribution, goes way back. It's all of these low volume nodes, which is at 38.39 even. The high overnight's 38.39 and a half, and that's why there's that stock zone there that you saw earlier. We can see it better in this chart. In this chart here, you can see that well, this has the overnight session as well. This is where the stock zone is, and this is why we're pausing here. That's the whole point of the stock zones, is I don't have to keep track of what's what where. I can just put these bands up and be reminded that there's something there. If I want detail, I can go into the chart and find the detail. So what we've done is we've launched off. So yesterday, multi-distribution profile with the point of control at the upper end of the range. Extremely strong delta, like really strong delta. For us to hit 40,000 positive on the delta is pretty rare. We tested down and we failed to continue to test the gap, and 37.12 is mentioned, and so we finished quite strong with the point of control at the upper end of the range. So we expect the market to continue higher, thereby breaking the one time framing down on the daily. And so today it's all about buying pullbacks, in my opinion. It has already breached not only yesterday but the day before's high, and we are moving back. It looks like we are heading back to the 38, remember, 38, 56, 57. Do you guys remember that, where that comes from? Let me eliminate the overnight profiles here in a second, and I'll show you why it's what's happening here is relatively significant, and we continue to be lucky enough to have good structure to trade with here. The markets are really showing The markets are really showing what's what in terms of structure. Man, it's pulling in a ton of data, tick data. So here it's going to draw the profiles here in a second, but I need the profile for these 2 days. So what we had is balance up here. If you recall, like at 39.10, we had 2 days with the point of control up here. And what it's going to draw, because I know the chart by heart, it's going to draw profiles with 2 points of control right there. And that's why this is our over underline. Anything below here has a bearish tilt. And anything above here has a bullish tilt and is likely to push to where? The 39.10 area. So the 38, 57, 56, 57 is important. So here we go. See that purple line there? That's the point of control. That's the most traded price of the day, the most valuable price of the day. So that's around 39.09 really. Okay. Then what we did last week is we put in this 57, 56, and what we ended up doing is creating this really prominent point of control here. This is your magnet now. With the market trading right here, market having pushed all the way up to 38.39, it's not really far from this magnet. So we've moved from the distribution down here that encompasses 75, where the big magnet is, and we have shifted through the 3800, and now we are working ourselves up to that profile there. This profile on the right is changes depending on what I pull into the chart, and I can't pull in all the data in this periodicity that I need, so it looks kind of funky. But we have moved from what is a large distribution to a mediocre one to another large distribution and so forth. You could see it better in the TPO chart. Look to the left. That now we're in this, and what we're doing is working our way up to this 39.09. This is the next big prominent area to watch out for. That's the key thing to look at for today. So yesterday, quite a bullish close. One-time framing ended. Now we're pushing higher. Today is all about leaning on the buy side support for structured trades, and then fading any pushes into key areas like stock zones and things like that for very short-term shorts like scalp shorts and stuff. So all structured long, scalp shorts. The first thing we want to see this morning that's really important is we want to see whether or not this is responsive. So what we have here is a very thin, so here's what the profile shape is. We have a very thin area here, so we have a bit of a flagpole here all the way down to 38.11 and 38.10. 38.10 being key. This is your key support this morning on any pullback. We can cover the 20 points very, very quickly. So if we open and we push down, in other words, we are responsive selling and filling the gap zone for this morning, I would want to pay attention to this area here, 38.11, 38.10, for a potential long back in the direction of the most recent trend. So that's one. The gap fill, of course, is at 3800, so you have a risk of it pushing all the way down to 3800, but in my opinion, 3800 is likely to be well supported. We are above a major strike on an option expiration day with a whole lot of options expiring at that century figure. I expect that to be a wall of support. If we are initiative, if we open and we initiate, then I'm really going to have to be very attentive to how it responds in counter rotations and the pullbacks to look for a long. And I'm going to quiz you to see if you've been listening. If I look for a long in 38.30, 38.40 range, what am I shooting for? What's the price that I'm expecting the market to test? Let's see if you're listening, and I'll let you all go. Good. 38, 56, 57, right? That's that double point of control level that I showed you. And then 3909. So if we hold in this 30 area, right? 3909 is about 80 points. Probably not likely. Very likely is 3856 to the upside. Okay? And then if we fail and we respond back, then we're looking for a long at 1110 with a real support expected at 00. So we're looking for a long in this area to pull back into the upper distribution. That's if it's responsive. And then I'll be shooting for the overnight high statistic, and then I'll be looking for that 56 again, and that would give us about 45 to 50 points of range, and that's well within reach. If it breaks the 3800, if it breaches the 3810 and breaks the 3800, now we've got some issues. Now we're looking at the 3785, 3775 again. I hope that if-then logic makes sense to you, because you have to think in that way. You have to think in the form of if-then, but trade what's in front of you. Trade what the market is doing. Trade the rotations in whatever time frame. You can even scalp from that perspective. But don't forget, the point being, don't forget to pay attention to what the big picture is doing, and for that you need to move into your intraday chart to see what the heck it's doing, and your TPO chart to see how the market structure is working. You know, where is it developing balance, where's the imbalance, what areas you need to pay attention to, and so on and so forth, right? So that's what we're looking at. It's currently, it has stopped right against this string of singles here, right there. See this? I don't know if you see the shading right here, but that's a string of singles that was filled in a little bit, and we got to the top of the string of singles that usually acts like support or resistance on a short-term basis. Okay, so I'll leave you with that. Good luck. And again, if you didn't hear me before, of course, and you haven't done so, punch in where you're from and your Twitter handle or Instagram handle. Please don't share your email or phone number. We're a community. Believe it or not, futures traders are a relatively small community compared to equities and Forex. And it's just nice to bring everybody together here at this Trader Bite. Good luck, and I'll catch you Monday. Take care.